YoYoYo, what's the crack? Awesome, Nick.
Hi!
The midlife renaissance.
You know the drill.
You know the drill.
Episode.
71, man, 71.
Yeah, he's already showed me artwork for it.
Yeah. I sent some awesome artwork today. He's drilling over. It's surprised you during the week with it.
Austin,
What?
stop it.
It is true though. We're
Stop.
drilling over.
Stop. I wasn't.
But it leads us into the topic we're going to talk about today: AI, artificial intelligence, generative AI, all this stuff like mirror neurons, the fact that if you see something, you start to think it's real and
Exactly, like Instagram posts, which you think are real, but they're not actually. They're actually AI generated.
yeah, because the brain. The way the brain works, like it's like do you know what they say, like you law of attraction. You have to believe. You have to live in the moment. You have to live in that moment, like it already happened, and it's like that's what the brain actually computes and makes things happen. Like but you have to take action also. It's not just action as well, but there's a bit of a formula to it. Anyway, but AI. We're going to talk about AI today. There was a Davos meeting, world leaders and all the kind of think tank guys and people that stringers and
What?
fingers. What you call this? Puppet string masters, like Davos, like
Pop master, yeah.
yeah, no, but they're the elite, like and stuff like that. So they're really good guys. Some really good guys like were Elon Musk and like he was talking about artificial intelligence, and talking about robots. Like he says, literally, he can imagine a future where literally everyone has a robot. Like,
Well, Terminator hasn't happened yet. So come on, 1997 was Judgment Day, but it hasn't. I don't think it has.
no, it's not 19. It's 2029 is in Terminator 2 is like when they.
Okay, we have 3 years left. Okay. We're all gonna go.
Do you ever see James Cameron the movie? It's Terminator 1 or Terminator 2, but it's just shot in and it's supposed to be LA or something. Whereas like 2029, where it's like Terminator's like I think it's LA. It was like it's like Terminator's like all it's like a war zone and the Terminators are all fighting each other. And it's like 2029 AD or something like that.
We're all on our computers like the Matrix, with the artificial,
Anyway, but Elon made a good point at the end of a speech. He said like, it's better to be optimistic and be wrong, as opposed to pessimistic and to be right. It's natural just to err on optimistic. It's for living a better life and quality of life. Err on being optimistic, and if you're wrong, well, memento mori and all that. But anyway, AI is a really interesting topic. It's growing. It's compounding all the time, and I'm learning more and more about it. And like, say for example, like the AI race is all about this kind of.
Well, there's a thing on Instagram that says AI will teach you more about something to add to a podcast or not. No, what was it? Was it AI will teach you more about than something else? Oh, sorry.
Context, man. Come on, get to the bottom of it.
I'm trying to think.
Right,
sorry.
look, research there while I'm waffling on. Research.
Yeah, you on.
Get the context. No, but so the AI it's kind of skills race or debate is like it's getting to a stage where it's like total dominance in terms of AI gets to a level where it's forced in the race where it just starts iterating itself and compounding on itself, so it starts learning from itself. So this is when AI becomes general artificial intelligence, where it's like it takes its own learning, takes its own ability to produce better and better models. Like this is because what we have now at this moment is like pattern recognition, large language model modules, which basically are good at pattern recognition and stuff like that, like the likes of ChatGPT or Gemini and stuff like that. And like say for example, ChatGPT, it's like just a mathematical model, and how it just basically what the compute power is what makes ChatGPT so possible, because it finds patterns in words and in letters and stuff like that, so it breaks it down into a mathematical equation. So say for example a sentence like everything is awesome, to get the context of that kind of sentence and make it relevant to some of the questions someone's asked, like if I said in the Lego movie, what's the phrase that first line of the song?
Everything is awesome.
Yeah. So I say, what's the first line of the song, and then ChatGPT would look at pattern to say first line of the song, Lego movie, and break it down mathematically what the pattern recognises to that kind of prompt.
You know that movie? That song famous, but they even got a catchy song called the Catchy Song in the second movie. I mean.
But this is marketing. But this is how the human brain works. It's behavior, psychology. That's why Disney always had the Frozen song. Like they have a formula for making the best songs. Like many Disney movies come out and the song is hit number one every single time. They just have it's the right frequency, right notes. Just it's the spot. Like when you're hungry, like your burger, why is the McDonald's burger always hit the spot when you're hungry, or Burger King burger, or why is it Guinness?
Like in the Matrix, it's our brain is telling us that the burger is delicious,
Yeah.
and you know it's juicy.
But this is what.
But is this real? Is this a computer program telling us that, you know?
But this is what I get to. I was thinking today. There was a guy called. Well, I got me notes. There was a guy, an Oxford professor. His name was. He was making a point that. What's his name? Michael Wooldridge or something like that. And he's making the point that AI doesn't think for itself. Like AI isn't cognitively conscious and aware. Like say for example, if you choose something at me, like if you smash my laptop like and threw it on the floor, how would I react? If that never happened to me before, you know, I'd be based on my human skills. Like you broke something belonging to me, I'm gonna smash a punch in the face. Like, but it's not pre-programmed into me what the result is. So if I was afraid of you in a sense, like you know, okay, you broke my laptop, I could run off crying and stuff like that and be scared of you. But like unless, for example, like an artificial intelligence kind of program knows what the actual true prompt is there, like. And they say like, well, punch him back or break his own machine. Like, if there's no pattern to kind of do that kind of particular, you know, behavior, like then it doesn't know what to do. So it's not thinking for itself. So there's no context. It does no meaning. You know, say like, because you smash my laptop in the ground, I could say like, you just had a brain fart. Like someone just like you just fucking blacked out or something, had a rage moment or something. But I'd have to look for meaning of why you did that as opposed to just reacting to. You know, so this is where I say humans are much better a reason. But then finding meaning in things like, because the Oxford professor made the point that if you took AI and you had a like it's really good at like say for example map holidays like or find them do kind of recipes. It's very good at kind of finding the good recipes because it's all leading at it's train of thought, like it's all pretty, you know, pattern recognized. Like, you know, if I want to make a good you know, chocolate cake, I'd find cake, I'd find flour, I'd find, you know, different things. Like it's already, the information is already out there. But if you change it up and say, you know, make a chocolate cake and change the words around the symbols and the phrases and stuff like that, like, you know, and if I said to you like, you know, if there's no kind of colour on that, if there's no words on that, what's that for? You know what it's for because you've already used it, you've had experience, you know what that is like. But if I got to AI, yeah, okay, sorry, but you don't have to go. But if you said to AI, what do you do with that? Like, you know, then the AI would have to look at the object and have to match it to a database and say like, you know, look for brands and all this kind of stuff and what's that used for. But if you, but it wouldn't know what you used it for, like, unless you specifically told it beforehand, like what you used it for. You know, that's kind of what it's getting at.
Are you confused as I am? Because it's a bit confusing at the moment.
Yeah, maybe it is a bit confusing. But we're talking about, remember the Space Odyssey, the 2001 Space Odyssey.
Yeah, I told you about that movie.
Yeah, we were talking about it, because it brought me back to something I learned a while ago. HAL is a computer, like, it's artificial intelligence, it's a tool. And it gets to a stage where Dave is like, and Frank are only two left, and HAL destroys Frank because he heard Dave and Frank kind of conspiring to stop the mission or something like that. And so what happened was like HAL was pre-programmed to say, complete the mission, or to be truthful and be honest, and he had to keep things secret, like what the mission was about, like. But it was a contradiction, like so like the computer couldn't actually function, so in terms of contradict itself because it's logic, so it's like it doesn't work on context and meaning. So basically, when Frank went outside the spaceship, Hal cut off his oxygen, and then Dave was outside, and Dave goes like, Hal, let me in, like, and Hal goes, I cannot do that, Dave, like, because Hal's like just had to complete the mission at all costs, like, because it kind of decided like that, like, through its own logic, like the mission has to go to an end, has to be finished, like, even if it meant like the humans were dead, like, but the mission had to be complete, like. So it was the logic of the computer, like. And then what Dave done was like just not brute force, but like Dave was like, you know, as a human, like just broke in the door and just took Hal's memory chips out like one by one, and like there was no Hal then, like. And but this is the point, like, you know, where they talk about AI and someone goes like, what do you get to a stage where the AI starts talking for itself or learning for itself or tells you it doesn't want to turn it off, like. You just smash the damn computer, like, you know, it was like that's the best kind of, you know, 2000 Space Odyssey is the best defense we have against, you know, if AI went conscious and tried to break us, like, you know. But Elon Musk talks about this, like the existential threats, like
That's his favorite word, existential, by the way.
But it is, no, because like there's 20% chance AI will, you know, will break us like and stuff like that.
When is
But this is supposed some people say. But then there's also an 80% chance that
Superman could just took it on and battled it, beat it in Superman 3.
do you know any aliens that like have super unlimited powers that are living in the earth at the moment, like have a cape and fly around like it'd be good to have Superman in your back pocket. Like I wouldn't mind that, yeah. That'd be awesome. We're gonna worry about AI, just Superman would break it. But Elon talks about this, like, what if you use like, say for example Grok, or if you use ChatGPT, you say you prompt ChatGPT, ChatGPT make the climate better, more kind of take it down past the 2%, or the 2 degrees, like.
But how is it going to take to? The climate change is done by people being proactive. It's not done by artificial intelligence.
But this is the point. If AI took over, artificial general intelligence took over, they might conclude that like the reason the climate is so hot is because of the industrial productions, and they might say humans are the problem.
Exactly.
And so they might lower
carbon dioxide.
Yeah, they might lower the the population and stuff like that. But that's the point, that AI given the wrong prompts and the wrong an ultimate control, it might be detrimental. But then on the positive side, it's I create pictures with you with ChatGPT, and
oh God, does he?
No, but this is like this is I don't know if we're using AI for the best possible outcomes at the moment, which is generative AI, is like creating stories and images and all this kind of stuff, or we're just at the kind of we're just at the baby steps like to getting better. But all this stuff where it gets like AI takes over and becomes conscious and generative AI. There's a lot of people saying, there's not a lot of people, but they're saying like that might not happen. That might be just because like what is consciousness like? Like you and me thinking, what is consciousness? Do we even know? Because we're literally just perceiving our reality, nature and sensory, whether it be like just light, sound, we're sensory beings, like, so we're experiencing nature and physics as it is. So God knows what consciousness is, and if AI will ever take over. Do you know what my favourite AI kind of movie is, or TV show?
What?
Westworld.
You
watch Westworld? Westworld season 1 and 2 is absolutely brilliant. Like, it just is such a brilliant movie, brilliant TV show. Like, but then in the next kind of seasons, it gets a bit like my fear of like where AI takes over. Like, that's kind of, I think that's a bit like, too kind of risque. But I like the development of consciousness of artificial consciousness. Like, I like that idea, how it's all kind of worked out and stuff like that. Like Anthony Hopkins is in it. Like, he's the architect. Like,
is he?
Yeah. He's the architect. Bernard. Well, actually not. But you have to watch it. I won't give any spoilers away, but you have to watch the show. Like, Anthony Hopkins is the architect.
Rachel Woods is in it as well.
Rachel, yeah.
And Tandy Newton, isn't she? And then there's also James Marsden, and then I think it's the other guy.
Yeah, but it's a great cast, but this actual story. Like,
Ed Harris.
Ed Harris is very good. Like, he's actually one of the main characters. But it's just the development of the consciousness and the kind of like that. This is like what I worry about. Like, when you're doing jiu-jitsu, when you're doing wrestling, like, anyone that does practices jiu-jitsu knows when someone's on top of you and they're mounting you and they're like they're on your chest and they're choking you and you're losing, right? You're losing. Then you tap out and it's over. That's the way jiu-jitsu works. Like, but imagine a situation where like total dominance, like where just like someone's on top of you and AI is like, how do you compete with AI? Like in games, like if you played AI in the game of chess now, set like maybe Magnus Carlsen might be able to be a different style of AI.
Hey, man.
Yeah, could Kasparov, like getting beaten by.
No, Marty Supreme.
Marty Supreme.
I'm joking.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like this.
Timothy Chalamet might be able to beat it.
Yeah, okay, but this, Dave Big Hal, like, I mean, that was but the point is, like, there's always, this is what makes us human.
Oh, no, sorry, what's Marty Supreme? Sorry,
ping pong, yeah.
Sorry, wrong thing, sorry.
But it's like,
sorry.
No, but, you know what I mean, but it's like, we have humans, we always have a bit of hope, but, it's interesting, like, say for example, like, our computers are trying to get microphones on them now, like, and they kind of work and they don't work, and it's like, how do you get it to work, and what's wrong with it? Like, you kind of have to rely on someone else. Like, so when you have to rely on someone else, it's it can be hard to get control and kind of control it. Like, so this I always worry about. Like, ever see the TV ad where a man goes to the dentist and he goes into his house and he tries to open the door and the doorbell is like an artificial voice, like saying, voice recognition, like open the door. And because he was at the dentist, his mouth was all, he got work in his teeth, like, and he didn't sound like his normal self. So the AI didn't recognize his voice and wouldn't let him in, and it was raining outside and stuff like that, and thunderstorms, like, and he just couldn't get in his house. But this is where I always like to have fail safes, backups and stuff like that, where it's always a human condition involved or something like that. Like, say you have, you enter your house, like you have a spare key, it's all the human condition, like your kid wants to get in the house, give him a spare key, or put a spare key under the rock or something like that, outside the house. Like, you always, like the human brain is always looking for, sees the situation where, how do we get out of this, or how do we, why do we have backups, in IT servers, like, why do we have backups? Because, 99.9% of the time, everything works, but then the one time it doesn't work, you have to have a backup, like, so, this is AI, like, might be, like, totally dominant, like, 99, like, 100% of the time. This is because it can be programmed, but this is why the human factor comes in, like, where it's like, we're human, we have chaos and order.
What did they say? AI would build a website in more time? Is it more time or?
Yeah, but do you know?
Anything else?
I use this. So like, if I said that to ChatGPT, build me a website, it can build me a menu, it can build me a template and different things, like. But I still have to add the context, the meaning, like the images, the text within reason. Like, you give a meaning and prompts. Like, it doesn't. It's not going to replace. Like, remember Matt Damon and Ben Affleck talking about AI and saying like that the ChatGPT or AI won't take over art and culture and all, because it only reproduced what was already done, and it doesn't add a new kind of context or spin on it. Like, it's just to be honest, so part of me thinks, it's like Jurassic Park. And remember we watched Jurassic World, like Jurassic Park, like, and it's your man, the flea circus, like. What's the guy's name with the glasses, like the owner of Jurassic Park? Was it English guy? Was it?
Richard, but I don't know how to say.
Yeah, and Richard. Yes.
So I don't know the actual.
No, but at the start he shows the kids, like, and it's like, he used to have a flea circus where it's like, fleas doing this and they're jumping on wires, and everyone's like, all the kids are saying, I can see the flea jumping, I can see the flea doing this and that, like, and everyone's getting involved, and then he goes and that was the start off, like, he's a salesman, and then he goes off and then he creates Jurassic Park, like, where the actual dinosaurs are real, but you couldn't control the dinosaurs. When you get to the stage, like, it makes them asexual or kind of gender neutral, like they can't have babies, like, but then nature finds a way of actually, like, making babies and eventually have more babies and stuff like that. But this is the human way, like you find solutions that don't exist. It's kind of like, nature finds a way and stuff like that. But then it's like, when you look at AI, it's all contained. Like, say for example, it's on our laptop, it's on our phone, it's on our.
It is something. I mean, the actual computer, the Google website is actually AI. They weren't there before. I mean, they've AI mode even on the phones. Everything is AI. I mean,
they're following ChatGPT in the way and how you search stuff. Like, it's an AI kind of talk box. Like, so kind of you have AI mode. Like, so if you have Google, just check it out. This is where sometimes I think like Google are better bet for AI in terms of, because they actually have practical stuff and they have way more data. But anyway, it's no story. But what I'm kind of trying to get at, like, it's on the laptop, it's on the phone, it's on my phone, it's in the contained space, which is on a digital kind of digital object.
Yeah.
So if I smash my laptop, you smash your laptop, you smash your phone, right? We're surviving, humans in nature, right? This is all wood, these are all tables, this is life. So how do we feed ourselves? Like, this, so it goes back to Maslow, like, how do you feed yourself? How do you build shelter? How do you build security? All these kind of things, and it can be done, but these things are tools, and they make our life so much better, like, in some ways. But then they can also cause us hassle, in some ways. But it just is a big tool. Like, it's just a tool. We're not going too dystopian. Am I a bit kind of?
I think you might be I think you might be going a bit too far. I'm sorry about this. But we'll try to.
Well, don't mind Nick, because Nick is not a measure. Because Nick was getting freaked out because I was using different words. He was getting triggered because they were reminding him of something.
No, we did.
Nick's not going to measure. Folks, I'm not in no way, shape or form doom and gloom in AI. This is just my brain and how I see things, right? So go back to one of the cool topics that we were talking about. generative AI. You know, say for example, I go into ChatGPT and I go Space Smash, Nick with Leonardo DiCaprio at the Golden Globes, and you are loving that. Like you're like yeah, and then I'm there with Katy Perry in the Golden Globes. I'm like, this is all good. Like, yeah, but they're kind of cool things. It's generative AI. I mean, I've done pictures before, create images like. I'm there with my kids, like.
There's also actually Instagram pages for AI, and actually, yeah, with AI, it actually looks like a page for a real person, but I think it's actually AI, an Instagram page for.
Yeah, we have all these AI models and stuff like that. Yeah, they're talking about that, like your AI game.
But it's so believable that you actually think it's real. It's actually a real person, but now you think of it, it's probably AI. You know, this is the thing. I mean, it makes you believe. It's like the Matrix. AI is the Matrix.
That's this thing called mirror. I heard a scientist talking about mirror neurons. Mirror neurons. It's your brain's neurons have this thing like where they mirror when they see an image, they mirror kind of like they believe that image is real. Like so see a picture, of a baby and like you smile, think, oh, you want to cuddle the baby, and you see other things like see a picture of a dessert and you're like. Or watch a movie and you watch a movie and you have a suspension of disbelief. You kind of get involved. You see the movie, you think you're in the movie, and you can empathise the movie, and it's kind of fun and it's really exciting, and you really engage like you're there firsthand. Like that's why we love movies. That's why movies are so cool, and because we have this thing called mirror neurons, we believe it. Like we just kind of it feels real to us. Like, but this is the thing. Mirror neurons are specialized brain cells, primarily located in the prefrontal and parental cortex. They fire both when an individual performs an action and when they observe the same action performed by another. They are crucial for understanding imitation, empathy, social cognition. When discovered in monkeys, they are thought to function in humans, contributing to how we read minds and feel emotions. So the psychology's there, like so. We pretty much have monkey brains to a certain degree, but so mirror neurons are. See someone doing an action. They've done a study before, like where they did test these guys, like they kind of you have this. If you practice throwing a basketball in the net, like if you visualize this throwing a basketball in the net for like say a month, 4 weeks, it's 4 weeks, and you see every day you visualize throwing for 25 basketball shots into a hoop. That's visualizing it. And then if you go and physically practice it, then where you're actually on the court and you're actually physically throwing 25 basketball shots into a basketball hoop, physically. When they brought the guys to like the actual test, like after 4 weeks and said, okay, throw the 25 shots. And so the guys were equally as good. The guy that visualized that and didn't actually physically throw the basketball shots was just as good as the guy that physically practices the 25 shots. They did a study. This guy in Vietnam, like he was a prisoner of war, and he was in the prisoner of war, and he visualized playing golf in his local kind of golf club, like every day when he's in prisoner of war, it's like sitting and he's visualized playing a perfect round of golf every day. That's what got him through it. And then a couple of years he got out of the prison war and he got over to got back to his homeland and kind of played golf, and he played like a 61 or something, like literally did a perfect game of golf, like just and he hadn't played in years, like, but just from visualising it every day, like.
Yeah. Isn't there this new AI generated actress called Tilly Northwood, who was created last year?
Yeah.
But
because she's AI, or because she's not human, a little bit of you like is a bit like, no, that's AI, it's not real, like. You know what I mean? But if it gets so much more better, if it gets so much better, you can't tell the difference. It's like it's real in context. Like, would you? And no one told you it was AI. Would you? Say for example, like we have all the Instagram chicks who are all like the gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous, and you know by the pattern, by the style. They're
I didn't know.
Well, I generally do, but then it's like you still connect them. You're still like, that's, she's gorgeous in different ways. Like, but it's AI. So I mean, it's a weird world. But this is back to Westworld, like, it's the robots, like, if they get so advanced, and they're literally robots. Or what was the one, Ex Machina?
Yeah,
Ex Machina. Yeah. That was a good one. That was a really good one.
Yeah.
That was about AI and stuff like that. And AI's evolution to to use our human skills, like, against us in some ways. Like Donald Gleason, he was the protagonist, and he was doing the Turing test, like. Well, this was the guys of Isaac. What was Isaac?
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac, and he was the tech guru, and he was bringing in Don McGeeson to bring to do a test on the AI and stuff like that, and see if she was conscious and she was real, like. But it was apparently like she was well past that, and she literally manipulated Donald Gleeson into escaping from her AI kind of prison cell, like.
Played by who?
I don't know what that chick was.
She's not. She's a person. She's Oscar winner. Come on.
I don't know.
She won an Oscar that year for a different movie.
To me, she's still there.
Huh?
To me, I don't know what's her name.
Swedish girl.
I don't know her name.
Alicia Vikander.
Okay, right. Now let me get on with the story. So she escapes from her AI prison.
Sorry.
And then Don Gleeson and Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac.
They end up fighting, and the AI and all this kind of does mad stuff, escapes, like. But it was just the character that engaged with the AI and stuff like that, and fell in love with her, and then fell for her seductive powers. Like, it's just a human condition, like, where if you're, because we empathize with things that look like us, and like, you know, we empathize with humans and babies and all the, and people and different things. Like, we empathize with, you know, with things, but it's an AI. But this was the point of the movie. It's an AI. It's like she took off her face or different parts of her body, like her skin, like, and it's just an AI robot, like. But because she said and she did certain things, said certain things, like, you know, the Donald Gleeson kind of fell for her, like, and kind of let her out and stuff like that, where she was just using her AI skills, which is like psychology, behavioral tricks, so dark psychology, just human, you know, biological sociology, like looking good, showing her boobs, different things, like, you know. But it's she escaped, like, and then he's like end up, you know, locked in somewhere, like, in a kind of in an eternal kind of room where he couldn't get out, like. So I don't know, it's just an interesting movie, like, but it's you know. But anyway, back to generative AI.
You've said that like four times already. We're still on generative AI, so it's not back to
movies. Okay, so movies. So this is what I wonder about AI. If it's all pattern recognition, like, could we create a new narrative about AI in terms of, like, okay, it will create more jobs than it will get rid of. Like, it will make us all, you know, joyful and prosperous and more free and liberated.
No, it won't.
Well,
Take out the fun of working.
Okay,
people will go mad.
That's an argument. But say, for example, if you didn't have to go to work tomorrow, if I didn't have to go to work tomorrow, we could work on a podcast.
Could it? I don't know, because
what we had basic universal basic income, like. What if we didn't have to work for electricity for to pay our bills, like, you know, phone charges, all this kind of stuff, like we pay tax on food or whatever. We had a universal basic income, like, we're getting whatever amount of money a month, and that's our basic income to buy food and resources and, you know, whatever subscriptions we want, like, you know, you Empire magazine, like, I, you know, go for Guinness, like, for Guinness. So we have all our kind of hierarchy of needs met to a certain level, like. So then we have to self-actualize, which is find meaning and live our best lives, like. So we could do the podcast, or we'll, you know, and be creative and create art, like, you know.
Yes.
So this is us self-actualizing in terms of our plan now is like, you know, win the podcast Golden Globes, you know, win a Nobel and win an Oscar, like. This is it. This is us self-actualizing. This is us climbing the mountain. This is where we want to
we
get.
need to write. He wants to. He was talking to me. He wants to write a screenplay. So from
Why can't we?
We're not.
And then you're like, my team in the Olympics.
No.
I'm like more like Ricky Gervais and Steve Martin.
No.
I'm Ricky Gervais, he's Steve Martin.
Stop. Stop.
But actually, I was googling, using AI, Google AI, to look at how Ricky Gervais and Steve Martin actually did the Office and how they actually got into that. Like, I think Ricky Gervais was 37 when he started.
Yeah, fairness, these people who are
they're midlife and exercise.
Yeah, exactly. Brian Cranston, he didn't get famous till he was in his 66 now. He didn't get famous till Malcolm in the Middle when he was in his 40s. Then I mean, these people, we're actually
time of our lives.
Yeah.
There you go. Right, niggas believe it. See, this is the human hope, folks. This is what human the fire is about. The fire in the belly, like the chakras, and why we'll always succeed. Because if you have a fire, if you have a hope, if you have a goal, you kick ass. Right, we have the time limit now.
No.
This is what always keeps me sane, and always will keep me sane. Having goals, having something having a mountain to climb.
I will say I used this weekend. I was pretty sick. Austin I was pretty sick.
He's whinging his nose, and I was like,
It was. Actually, this helped vape.
And who told you that was awesome?
Austin told me this is good.
Vicks vapor rub.
Yeah.
Lip way, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And really, what to clear your chest and your
Chest out was really bad, like Saturday, Sunday, even yesterday as well. So normally we do our shows on the Monday, but this is the Tuesday now. So.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I fixed Nick as usual.
You did not fix me.
I didn't get to the Vicks. You just said the Vicks fixed you.
No.
You just did.
No, we didn't fix me.
Anyway, sponsors Vicks. We do a great podcast. Sponsors.
But hang on, sorry. I didn't get a chance to talk. He did all the talking. I'm sorry.
You did all the talking last week. You were last show. You were all talking about the
Oscar nominations.
Yeah,
I was right with most of them. Sinners got the most, 16 nominations. That record-breaking 16 nominations.
I watched Sinners, and I mean it was a really cool movie. I'm not too sure if it's gonna be win all 16. I mean,
what's gonna win? It can't win all 16.
I know, but
it won't win more than 8, I think.
I don't know, but it is very good. I like that. It's actually it's really original movie, so I like that. Yeah.
Well, is it really?
Yeah, but it's a lot of culture mix mash and stuff like that. I'm not giving the movie away, but
from Dust Till Dawn, no.
No,
I'm joking.
No, I mean vampires and that, yeah, but even the music. I like the Irish connection. I like the Irish kind of music and the kind of bit of.
The Irish got a few nominations, although Paul Mescal missed out. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but Jessie Buckley, our one and only big hope. Well, our greatest hope for Best Actress. Woo-hoo, from Kerry. And then BAFTA nominations came out to kind of similar kind of stuff, Hamlet, One Battle After Another, and Sinners obviously got the most nominations. And next week are the Grammy Awards, so we'll touch on that if Austin gives you about 5 minutes to touch on it next week. We'll touch on that next week.
You get 4 minutes.
It's the same. Actually, it's the same amount of time it takes to restart a computer. It's always saying 4 minutes. Yeah.
Here's the thing: if you have to ask permission, as Nick always does, well then, you know the story, folks.
You don't know the story. You don't know the story. But I think we should have to wrap it up. But I think what are we gonna say?
So, folks, thank you very much for listening. And if you're listening,
if you listen to this today's, because comment
and post, and
please comment.
Abuse Nick.
No, just tell Austin what he's doing wrong. He just doesn't know what he's. Tell us how to make this better if we are doing it wrong. But we're not. We're not.
Back to the point: if Nick has to ask for permission how to live his best life, then he's not living the midlife in excellence. Live your best life. Live an authentic self. Live your best life. Anyway, folks, thanks for tuning in.
Bye-bye.
Love you.